Okay guys, so in this part of the tutorial we're going to look at how we color these and put them together. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is the coloring. I'm going to press A for appearance, and that's going to pull up a tool box that looks like this. When I look in that toolbox, it's got all sorts of things: fabric, glass, leather, metal. But obviously we've made ours out of plastic. So you're going to need to come down until you find the plastic folder and open that. And when you open that, there's going to be various types of plastic. Okay. Well, I want to come until I find the one that says translucent. So if I collapse these down by just clicking on them, oops, he says, you should be able to. Why is that not collapsing? Oh, doesn't really matter. Anyway, when I come down to here, I can find the translucent. In other words, the ones that will be having a solid colours. And what I'm going to do with those is I'm going to drag them across onto the components. Okay. So if let's imagine that I want glossy yellow for part of my top here, I'm going to get that, and I can drag it either to this point or I can drag it over to this point. This is sometimes better because you'll notice when I drag it onto the component, sometimes just the top is being highlighted, but just with a little bit of movement, all of it is then being highlighted. So if I drop with it all highlighted, everything is going yellow. So that just sometimes can be a bit of a fiddle. So I'm going to just come over to here and drop the yellow onto that. Okay. As you use a color, it's going to appear at the top. And if you double click on it up here, you actually get a little bit of ability to change the type of yellow that you've got. Okay. Now, obviously, in reality, you'd be restricted by the actual yellow acrylic we had, which is, to be honest, is a little bit more like this original one here. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in like so. But it's useful to know if you want to sort of adjust some of these colors. I'm going to take blue for the middle, so I'm going to take that across to middle 1, and I'm going to take that across to middle 2, and you can see that they're now going blue. And then I want yellow for the bottom, because I want the top or part of the top and the bottom to be the same. So I'm doing that. That just leaves this one here, which I want to be red. Okay, but I might, if I just take red, let's take glossy red and put it all the way across to here. Let's imagine, just for argument's sake, that in actual fact, although I want these bits to be red, I want the inside to be blue to match up with that, for example. If you zoom in to this, you can get hold of the blue that you've used, and we should hopefully be able to move that in such a way. You can see here everything is being highlighted. If I try and do this, it's going to want to put blue on everything, but if I just come to that, I can turn that one to blue. Okay, so in reality, for cutting this, we'd have to make a bit of an arrangement around that, but let's just go with that for the time being. Okay, so that's how I would put the colors onto my pieces. Choose your material from your plastic, translucent plastic, choose the color or the closest color you can find, and then drag and drop onto there. Then I can get rid of my appearance and focus on the moving. Okay, so what we're going to do to assemble these is we're going to one by one select them and move them, and then once we've moved them all off of the original drawing, we will join them. So let's go through that. I'm going to start at the top, seems a good place to start. I'm going to click on it and you can see it's highlighting. I'll then press M, and when I press M, oops, as that just, I've unselected it, sorry, my bad. Let me just press M, and then I can drag this handle across here, about 100 millimeters or something would be fine, doesn't have to be too exact. And you can see what I've done is we've separated the component from the sketch that it was created from. Then I'm going to do the same with middle 2, and I'm going to press M for move, and I'm going to drag across. You notice this time we're not creating a copy, we just want the one version. Then I'm going to get my middle 2 and I'm going to drag that across. Because I'm a little bit of a fusspot, I'm pulling all mine 100 millimeters exactly, but you don't have to do that as long as you take them off. So here you go, just to prove it won't make any difference. That one I've pulled a little bit further. And then final one, press M again, M for move, and drag, and there you go. I'm going to draw that a little bit. So you can see, although I started off being very precise and putting them in a straight line, it's not actually going to matter very much. Okay, so now I've got those pieces, how do I join them together? Well, we join them together with a command known as J for join. Okay, so pretty self-explanatory, just like E is extrude and A is appearance. We're going to press J and we click on capture position. So some of the components have been moved. Well, we know they've been moved because we just moved them. So we're just going to click capture position. I'm going to move that out of the way, that box. And then as I hover over my drawing, you'll see that surfaces are sort of being highlighted and it's picking up detail. And I've got this little circle, which is going to be the point at which I'm making a connection with things. What I'm going to do is, you'll notice as I move on to say an edge, it might change direction, and that's really important to understand, because what I want to do is not have it flat on here, but I want to actually come onto the edge so it's changed to 90 degrees, and I'm going to click there. That's the point that I'm starting with. And then I've got to decide where I want that to go. Well, I want the bottom surface of that to sit on the top surface of this. So I'm going to let it jump to that midpoint, make sure it's not flat like this, but it's on the edge like this, and I'm going to slide it in and click OK. All right. Then I'm going to do the same with this one. This time I'm going to press J and I'm going to come onto the edge again. So I'm picking up the same point, except this time I'm getting the top of that and the bottom edge of that one. If you see where I'm going with that, it's the bottom edge because I want that to slide just underneath like so. All right. Then I'm going to do the same here. Press J for join. Click that bottom edge and come to, top edge of there and bottom edge of that. And that's going to move that into place for me. And then for the final one, I don't have that exact position, but I do have other positions that I could take. So I could take, for example, I could choose my J and I could take the middle of that and join it with the middle of that, for example. Or I could take the top surface, which has a diameter, which is going to match up with this diameter as well. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to click that edge, and you'll see it's picking up the edge in black and the center with my little icon. And then I'm going to come across to this one and move it until I get the same matching appearance there. It's picking up the edge of the hole in black and it's picking up the center of the circle. And then I'm going to click OK. And then I've created my product in my virtual world exactly the same as it's going to be, hopefully, when I create it in my physical world using the laser cutter and the acrylic. Okay, so as per usual, we're going to Command S and save. And in the next tutorial, I'm going to show you how we're going to add the LED and then we're going to render it. Okay, and that's just to make the appearance as lifelike as we can. All right, make sure you've saved, and then we'll hop on to the next tutorial. Well done.